JJL Groundworks, delighted to support Ayr in their bid for the Premier 1 title. These highlights are brought to you by Lynch Homes, building homes of distinction.
This afternoon we're at Millbrae, where Ayr take on Edinburgh Accies in Scottish Hydroelectric Premier 1. Accies could do with the points because that'll pull them that wee bit further away from the relegation zone. But it is just the biggest game in the history of Ayr, because a win today would see them take the Scottish Hydroelectric Premier 1 title. It means an awful lot to the club here at Millbrae. It means an awful lot to me as well, because when you look at this pitch around here, when I was a kid, I helped pick up the stones in the early 60s when it was still a market garden, and we turned it into the pitch that it is here today. This is just the biggest game in the history of Ayr Rugby Club.
Millbrae packed to the gunnels, almost 2,000 people anticipating a terrific match. And early on, well, there was no real sign of nerves. The Ayr pack taking control. AJ McFarlane out to Fraser Climo, and that trademark left boot kick out to Flo Marin's wing. The Frenchman taking it easily, and a beautiful offload inside to fullback Andy Wilson. Over for the try. 7 minutes gone, and oh boy, did they enjoy that one. Cosmopolitan celebration. 2 from France, 1 from Australia, and 1 for Dumfries and Galloway. Climo lining up a fairly straightforward kick, pops it over. 7 minutes gone, 7-0 to Ayr. Damien Kelly pinching that one at the line out. Ball out to Climo. Midfield to Richard McCallum. McCallum to Marin. Offload to Andy Dunlop, and Andy Wilson in the line again, but this time nabbed by Tom Drennan and Robin Snape. The ball back in the Ayr side. Scott Sutherland. Wee pop pass there. Ian Herd having a good look at what's going on in there and spotting the offence. Penalty to Ayr. Accies going in off their feet. Just inside the 22. Straightforward kick for Climo. Ayr 10-0 ahead after 19 minutes, and Ayr President Billy McHarg starting to look a wee bit more relaxed. Terrific take there by Jeff Wilson. McFarlane, Climo into midfield again. Oh, and Marin coming off his wing, busting through. Great tackle by Matt Cooper to stop what looked like a pretty dangerous move. McFarlane beavering away there again. Taken out by Robin Snape. Forwards lurking there. Gordon Reid having a wee dip, supported by Glenn Tippett. Ian Herd spotted another offence. Damien Kelly taking it up. McFarlane linking with Julian Montereau, but really this one going nowhere. And finally Ian Herd said, "That's enough, boys." Coming in from the side, take the kick. Thanks very much to Climo. 32 minutes gone, 13-0. And as the conditions worsened, made not a bit of difference to Ayr's handling. Lovely ball out there to Marin. The Frenchman throwing off attackers. Out to Stuart Fenwick. Inside ball to Scott Sutherland. And Accies having to defend like mad to keep out an Ayr side who were determined to get more points on the board before the break. Glenn Tippett shrugging off a couple of defenders. "I'll do it myself," he said. Well, with the help of Andy Dunlop and Andy Wilson. McCallum into midfield, Jeff Wilson over the 10-metre line. Gordy Reid decides not to play scrum half. AJ McFarlane takes it on. Scrum to Ayr, and the pressure still on Accies. And then into the final minute of the first half. Great take there by Scott Sutherland. The big man rumbled. The try line was in sight, and the man crashing over there, Jeff Wilson, in for the try. Was it a try? Little consultation there between Ian Herd and his touch judge. The arms raised. And well, at 18-0, there was no way Ayr were going to let that lead go. And then in the most awful conditions, right on the touchline, Climo landed a superb conversion. 20-0 at half-time. Ayr 40 minutes away from the title.
JJL Groundworks, delighted to support Ayr in their bid for the Premier 1 title. These highlights are brought to you by Lynch Homes, building homes of distinction.
I know what Ian Barton said to Accies at half-time, but certainly they came out a lot more determined in the second half. Colin Jarvis making that break, offload to prop Lewis Niven up to the Ayr 22, but another steal and slammed downfield by Stuart Magorian. Still inside Ayr territory. This time it's Rory Bonner. Long ball out to Tom Brown in midfield. Again thumped over by the Ayr defence. Pop-up pass to Mark Price. Again pinched by Ayr, but this time an errant hand spotted by Ian Herd. And Mike Campbell getting Accies on the board after an hour. And the tension beginning to show in Ayr director of rugby Jock Craig. But the players, well, they look much more relaxed in the technical area. And as the clock ran down, final minutes, Accies piling on the Ayr line. Ayr content to keep them out. Just hold the line, run the clock down, because they knew time was on their side. Accies, well, you got to give them credit, stuck to it to the end, and when Ed Stewart were over for that try, it was no more than they deserved for a super second half performance. Mike Campbell lined up the kick, popped over the conversion, and that was the signal for the final whistle. Arms raised aloft. The celebrations begin. That man there, Paul Butt, passed the fitness test 2 hours before the game. Handshakes all round. Sporting congratulations from Accies. Jock Craig, a happy man. Hugging Stuart Fenwick there. Billy McHarg, the president, almost at the bottom of a rock. And finally, Eddie Crozier handing over the trophy. Would he get a kiss for Gordon Reid? No. He got one from AJ McFarlane, though that would excite him. And that's what it's all about. Damien Kelly holding the trophy aloft. And the party begins.
Kenny, Premier 1 champions, how does it feel?
Sounds excellent. It's been a long season. Started back in June. A lot of hard working during the pre-season and even in the games. A lot of ups and downs along the way, both on the park and off the park. But to come about today and get a good 40 minutes, I would say, and probably a more difficult 40 minutes in the second half. Brilliant. Feels absolutely brilliant.
I'm speechless. It's the best feeling. Been a long time coming, and I don't know. I'm lost for words, mate. It's a good one. It's a good win.
Good team you got behind you.
Good team, mate. Start of the season, we weren't unsure. Obviously, our goal was to win it. Took a few games, 2 or 3 games into it straight away. We knew that we had a special team, and we've done a special thing today. So hats off, not just the team, but for everyone at the club. You've seen there was a couple of thousand people here today watching us, and we get not as big a crowd, but pretty close to a normal home game. So it means a lot to a lot of people in Ayrshire. So it's going to be some night, some weekend.
So there we are, Ayr beat Edinburgh Accies by 20 points to 10. They're Premier 1 champions. You just got to look around this club to see what it means to the players, to the backroom people, to the crowd and supporters. I tell you, it's going to be some night here at Millbrae. This is Ron Evans for Scottish Rugby Television at Millbrae.
JJL Groundworks, delighted to support Ayr in their bid for the Premier 1 title. These highlights are brought to you by Lynch Homes, building homes of distinction.